What's up, guys? This is just going to be my opening video from now on. Walking out of my front door, or my back door, I guess. Got a little project I want to work on today. I noticed yesterday when I was working on the seals I was getting water on the inside here, and over on the other side with my gear vault as well, and there's a bunch of water under the gear vault. And I couldn't figure it out. Then I remember talking to Kyle when I went and picked up my camper about water coming through. Somebody had brought that up in the on one of the pages before I went and picked it up, and he said that there was a slight chance of water getting in these handles they decided to use. It's a punch metal. You can see it under the handle. There's a hole here. I mean, it's a pretty decent sized hole. He said it wouldn't be an issue. I've got off-road tires on my truck, and it throws water straight up under that handle, and it's just pouring in. So today's project, I'm going to grab my calipers and measure the outside of this handle. I already looked on the inside. They glued the handles down, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'll have to figure out something, but I'm going to make a cover that clips on over this that you can just lift up. I had it on my alu-cab. The alu-cab ones went under the handle. You unbolted the handle, put it underneath, and it was just a rubber flap that clipped down. These aren't sealed key locks either. Alu-cab ones had a metal flap that went across them when you pulled the key out. These ones do not. So I give this a couple months of use, and you're not going to be able to put a key in this hole anymore. So I'm going to make something that goes all the way down. It's going to seal it from water. It's also going to seal those keyholes. Luckily, they're the same handles front and back and everything, so I just got to do one design. And then I'll probably have to do some kind of double-sided tape on the back side that'll tape on there, the outside, and then the flap will come over the top. But I'll grab my calipers and we'll get some measurements and jump into Fusion and draw something up real quick. All right, guys, grab my digital calipers. We'll pump that on. I always measure things in millimeters. It's a lot easier to get more exact measurements. But we'll go ahead and measure this. Looks like it's 108. Let's see here, 108, 109, right around 109. Wide, tall, we're looking at, it's kind of a pain to do with one hand. We're looking at about 140.5. That's basically all the measurements I need. All right, guys, it's the next day. I worked on this for a couple hours yesterday. I had family over for an early Easter. My mom and my grandma are going out of town this weekend, so we had everybody come over and celebrated Easter last night. I went inside yesterday, went into Fusion, had to do a couple different drawings. I was hoping that, like my old setup, I could just remove the handle, the 4 nuts back here, pull the handle out and seat something behind it that held it in place. But they used some kind of sealant. I had to assume some kind of silicone or like RTV or something, and I can't get this handle out. So I was limited on my choices. Took me 3 tries, but I think I got it. I think I got a good thing here. My first one I designed. Let me set this up on a tripod. I'll be right back. All right, I got you guys on a tripod. So my first design was something like this. It was going to, I was going to glue or tape this to the outside of the handle, and this was going to be a flap. It's got ridges, and so it basically pushes into itself and locks itself. Unfortunately, my printer is just a hair too small to print this in one piece, and I didn't like printing it in 2 pieces and trying to glue it. I just didn't like that. So my next idea was magnets. I use magnets a lot in 3D printing stuff, and I came up with this design, and basically this is going to tape either basically here or here, and basically magnet on. It needed to be a little bit bigger because it didn't lock onto the sides, and I didn't like how big this was. So my third design, which I think is basically what I'm going to go with, I made the tab a little bit smaller, a little bit further down. I widened it just a hair to where it basically Let's see here. There we go. It's got a lip around the outside that goes over the sides of the handle, and so it can only move just a little bit. There's too much variance in the glue they used, and so I didn't want to make it too small because it wasn't fitting on the back. Tab smaller. I'm going to double side tape it above it, and so you can basically lift it up, unlock it, use the handle, and then it'll stay on. You can also do it down below if you really wanted to flip it down, but I think that flap's a little too big. I thought about doing it on the side so you could just kind of flip it over, but with the walls being aluminum, the magnets won't hold it open, and I just didn't like the floppiness of it. So I think I'm going to stick with this. Basically there, I don't get into the sides a whole lot, so it's not going to be a huge deal. The back, same thing. I mean, I'm not in and out a lot, so the inconvenience is not outweighing the pluses of something to cover this handle up with. This will keep A, bugs out, B, keep crap out of this key slot. They decided not to use I mean, it looks like it's got copper pins inside, so it might not be a huge issue, but on my Alu cab, I didn't have the handles covered at first. I had to replace all the lock cylinders after less than a year because I couldn't get a key in anymore. And it had like a metal flap on the inside that supposedly kept crap out of it, but it wasn't tight enough. The only other thing I was thinking is if I end up not liking this, I might pull the lock cylinder. It's got a seal behind it. Take that seal out and print something out of TPU that'll go behind the seal that has like a door, like a cover that'll just kind of push down over it. Kind of like my lock cylinders on the back here. Basically something like this to where you can pull it down or clip it on and it'll stay on there. I might actually just try to find these. I'm assuming they're somewhat fairly common. Oh, these locks have them. So you can kind of see if I can get in close enough. This little metal door on the inside of the thing that pushes open when you put a key on. The Lone Peak ones don't have that. So there's nothing keeping crap from here. This is barely any wider than factory on this. My wheels stick out past the bed on a ZR2. And so water and dirt's getting basically just flung right onto the canopy and going up. And I don't know if I showed you guys this, but you can see the hole up here underneath. Let me go from the back side here for you guys. You can basically see this hole here is open to the outside under the handle. So there's like a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch square. You could probably put some kind of tape or seal over that, but that's not going to keep the water from going in the little holes above it, the hinge. It's not a sealed system, and it's not going to keep that lock cylinder clean. So I think I'm going to I got 2 printed out. These take a while to print out. It's like 2.5 hours per, and I have to stop halfway through because I actually print half of it, embed the magnets inside the TPU, then print the rest of it. And so you can kind of see where the magnets were at on there. Little circles here. I've got 8 magnets total. But I'm hoping that's going to be secure enough. I'm hoping with the lip on there, driving, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to test everything for quite a while first, but I'm hoping there's not enough air pressure going past the truck to lift those up. But that's why I'm going to tape it on the top. So if they do come off, they're not going to go flying down the road. But it should be tight enough to at least keep 95-98% of water out of there. That's all I really want, is to keep the dirt and everything out of there while I'm off road. But yeah, I'll update you guys in a week or so after I get these on and test them out on the trail and everything, make sure that everything's kosher. Not a huge fan of how big the handles are, but I mean, I didn't build the camper, so I think smaller handles, one on each side, might have been better, but you wouldn't be able to open them from the inside. So I mean, I know why they did it with this handle, but it makes it a little bit of a pain to cover up. So I got one for that side. I'm not going to do the back one right this second, but all the handles are the same, so this one would fit over this one if I really wanted it to. It actually blends in pretty good back there. But I'm just going to do the 2 sides for right now. And then we'll see how those go. But yeah, I'll get those taped in, and then I'll update you guys in a week or so after I've driven it around. The sun's coming out today, and it's supposed to be sunny for the next week and a half. So I don't think I'm going to get like a whole lot of testing usage out of how waterproof they're going to be, but I'll be able to at least test it on the road, on the freeway, and make sure everything's kosher. So I'll yeah, I'll update you guys in a week. I'm hoping to go camping tonight till tomorrow. I got stuff tomorrow afternoon, but I'm hoping I can get at least one night in tonight. So if I do, I'll have a video up probably on Sunday, going over how everything went out in the woods. All right, I'll catch you guys later.